Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of the ABS show coming straight to you from
New York City.
Okay, this is your very first time watching us. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, and right after the show, go on Instagram and follow us at the ABS show. Don't forget to like and share as well. Spread the word. All right, so let's talk about today's topic, okay? So according to healthline.com, childhood obesity is on a high time rise. Many doctors are blaming parents for this epidemic. So my question to you guys today is childhood obesity caused by bad parenting? What do you guys think?
That's part of it. Even though some part of it is genetic. You know, for example, if you have a parent who's on the big side, definitely you're going to have an offspring who's also on the big side. And also parenting is part of it because, I have somebody who's like a relative to me who the children are like on the big side, and every time they be eating chocolates and everything and stuff, I'm like, yo, what's the kids?
This is gonna be good. This is good.
No, what's the kids like? They're like, no, Max, leave my children, I beg. They need to enjoy themselves, everything. They need to enjoy themselves. When I was their age, I didn't see chocolate to eat. I didn't see this one so much. This, that, please, Max. Biko, Apple, Markham. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. That's what it means, So I'm like, no. So bad parenting is part of it, even though some of it is genetically.
But is that really true with the genetic? Well, listen, I'm not a doctor, but isn't all our bones like the same? Do we have like big bones?
That's what my mother used to tell me.
Yeah, like there's just like big bones. So I feel like that's an excuse people use, but go ahead.
No, it's not really an excuse. Okay. Obesity is not really about the bones because the muscles and the bones are all intertwined together, and sometimes some people have fat genes.
Yeah. Why did they look over here?
I eat Debbie.
I'm explaining.
Why did you shine your eye over here?
It's all right. I have fat genes.
You didn't shine your eye over here.
Go ahead.
Y'all better tread lightly because we have 3 Ogboros in
We have big thunderclappers.
On the seat.
What you say?
Okay, I'm sorry. Some people have fat genes. Some people have tall genes. Some people have short genes. So are you trying to tell me now that if a dwarf give birth to a dwarf, it's not genetic?
It's genetic.
It's genetic. Likewise, obesity. Yeah. So it's medically proven that it's sometimes genetic, but that's not the only reason.
Yeah.
Well, what is obesity then? Because, like, at what point
do you say the person is obese?
At what point do we say that, okay, so this person is obese? And I think technically, with what I've been reading, I don't know if this is true, but if you're 100 pounds over...
Why are you smiling? You're making me laugh. Stop looking at me.
If you're 100 pounds over your weight limit based on your height and your age, then you are getting there. The last time I checked, I'm not there yet. Okay, I'm actually reducing. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I think it can be bad parenting as well. We live in an obese world where we have fast food, right? It's all about fast food. We want that quick, right there, and that can also cause like a big.
And the thing about it is that why is slim right, though? There are people that are overweight,
but is that
are very healthy.
No,
but I'm just saying.
Is that a topic?
Because why? But the thing about it is like, why is it right? If the person is healthy and they're like a bigger person, why is it a problem how they're eating, right? If they are healthy. If they're not, I understand it being unhealthy when it's unhealthy. Like, for instance, the cholesterol is high, blood pressure is high, you have to, your heart, you have to work on that. But if it's okay and you're
a skinny person can get all of that, but research has shown that when you are a certain weight, then the chances of you getting that is higher. Parents just need to pay enough attention to what their kids are eating. I mean, I think.
But also it comes to economics. It's cheaper to eat bad than it is to eat good.
So
let's be real.
So eat and die.
No, it's not that. But if you can't afford to buy, what do you call gluten-free this, that, and you have to buy. If you can't buy those organic vegetables and blah 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 blah, and if you can afford $1 McDonald's sandwich versus paying $20 or $30 for a good meal, it's hard when people are not being paid fair salaries and all of that.
And that is where balance, sets in. Like for example, recently I started eating rice in small portions. I love rice a lot. I can't do without it, And I was even telling Timothy I was trying to
portions.
I was telling Timothy that I was trying to go vegan.
I know what that means. I'm just saying.
They say you're supposed to eat a fistful of food.
A fistful of food.
All your food should fit in a fist.
I can't.
Not a whole
plate.
That can't happen in an African household. Because let me tell you how we eat. You get a nice big bowl of rice. You put the stew on top. Drench them with the stew. If you want to get a little healthy, you can add a little salad on the side. Okay, but the salad needs to be drenched in dressing salad, eggs, corned beef, sardines, meat. Oh yes, and Max, I'm not done. You have to have a nice chilled malt.
Yes. Oh my God, I have plenty malt in my fridge, Charlie. You have called me out.
So the thing is, if you cannot afford, the gluten-free, as she said, those ones that you like eating, eat them in small portions. You can have self-control in balancing these things out for yourself.
Max,
That's what I feel like.
Max, yes.
You're talking about you as an adult.
Yes.
For kids, it's a bit different.
Yes.
Parents have that idea that they have to feed their children so that they grow. So in the quest of trying to feed your children so that they grow, they allow them eat in excess.
Yes.
And even when they're not eating, they'll say, this child is not eating. Eat. They'll pile your food up. Sometimes I remember when I was younger, you will cry. My cousins will cry. They don't want it. I like food. I will eat, clear the table, take off, come back and start eating their own. Move, come back, like that.
Wow.
But them, they will sit down there, they won't eat, they will not be begging you, please let me eat my food now. I say, hey, don't worry, Mom. Don't worry. I'll eat it for you. But you give me meat, so we'll bargain. I'll eat the meat and I'll take off. So
that's the thing, because
for children that are young, they want them to grow. So they'll tell them, you have to eat food. You have to eat food. If you don't eat, there's something wrong with you.
Yes.
And in that sense, the child might or might not end up being obese, but then we don't know that because of how their inside is made up. Now that's for one type of parent. Okay. Another type of parent is the type that will put you in front of the TV because they're too busy working and they want you to be distracted. So they will put you in front of the TV and give you something to eat. You don't have any physical activity because outside is bad. They don't want you to go out. They don't want you to go out and get harmed by the world today. So they'd rather be safe. They feel like you're safer being indoors with no activity whatsoever.
We also have to understand that, like in an African household, a child with good appetite, just eating anything that you give them is a sign of healthy. Because you have the strength to eat. Because there are some children that are suffering from pinoplas. And what is pinoplas? Pinoplas, in my definition, is a child that is eating and is not growing.
Or they have worms.
Yes, and that needs to be dewormed. So I think parents don't want that guilt, or they don't want to feel bad, so they just keep feeding them.
But let me ask you a question though. Back home in Africa, even up till now, like if you know fat, if you know like they chop, they chop money.
Yes,
not everywhere, not everywhere, not everywhere. Because I'm very slim, so don't say that.
But
that's for real. Like, it's still happening till today.
Everything you guys are saying still boils down to the real question. We're saying parents don't want, the parents don't want. So which means the doctors are not wrong. So who is to blame for the excess obesity that's happening right now?
Let me tell you what. When I first came to America, I was slim. I was a thick girl, but I was slimmer. But as soon as I started eating that American food, eating Jolly Ranchers, eating the processed food, eating crab sticks from a Chinese store that I don't know what was in it because it's not real crab. So eating all the Chinese. Why?
No, because we're talking about
kids are also fat in Africa.
Child obesity.
Yeah,
children.
But I'm sick. So
you're sick.
Yeah. So when you come in and then I gained weight, I became I got bigger really fast because the food is injected with a lot.
What did your mom say? What was your mom's input?
You're so beautiful. You should lose weight. That's what she said.
She wasn't to an extent responsible for your excess eating.
My mother cooked every day in the house, but I would want to eat outside. I want to eat McDonald's. I want to eat American food. I want to eat pizza.
And if you get denied of that, what you're gonna give your mom attitude. You're gonna be crying. You're gonna feel bad, and they don't want that. We are blaming. For me, I'm blaming the parents as well because personally, I like big babies. I like fat babies. I don't know about you. I like them chubby.
Little cherubs.
I love them with you see the legs that were put up. Yeah. I love fat babies like that. If babies are skinny, then it moves to kwashiorkor. I don't know if you guys know what kwashiorkor is. Kwashiorkor is. That's when they are skinny and they are big. Yes. And some parents do dismiss that. When they see a chubby baby, they say, "Oh, this is a little baby fat." They will get out of it. But kids don't shrink; they grow. So the more you are feeding into it, that will happen.
Some babies that are chunky monkeys, and they get to a stage
when they
they'll take ill and they will just stretch. They will lose all that weight and become very skinny and stretched tall. And you know, so parents, a lot of times when they see their babies like that, they will say, no, leave them. The pikin go see. If you don't reach what it now, it go tall. Like, they'll tell you, they say that fatness transcends into being tall. So they allow it. Now, for a lot of them, when you get to a certain stage where the fatness is the weight is still on there, they say, no, that big pikin, now better pikin. The society sees children that are chubby, you know, as wealthy children from wealthy homes that are well fed. So because of that, it's okay. They let it be. You're not looking to make sure that they engage more in their physical activities in school or even watch what they eat.
But some of these kids are picky eaters. I don't know if you guys have met kids like that. Like the parents do try and give them vegetables and the fruit. Even Michelle Obama tried to introduce that to America, right? With the healthy apple, eat an apple instead of cookie. Look at this kid right here. Like, come on.
But Charlie,
so
that
the
depends,
parents are trying.
Yeah, that depends though on the food that you started raising them up with.
Yes.
They don't just grow up and start getting picky and start choosing whatever they want to eat. It depends on the
what
food what they started with, what the parents actually started them with.
You know, my friend
when the baby was in the stomach.
My friend has a 3-year-old baby, and shout out to, I'm not even going to mention her name. You're not a bad parent, but this is just me.
Hey, Charlie.
He didn't
mention her name.
I didn't mention her name. It could be
But
anybody.
there's how many friends of his that might have the baby. They'll be deciphering.
She gives the baby milk. A big bottle of milk, warm.
Say calcium. She wants the baby to grow.
Every night before the baby goes to bed. Every night and every morning. So every time I call on FaceTime drinking milk, I'm like, how long are you going to... And the baby's getting plumper and plumper every day, child. But according to her, if she doesn't do that, the baby start hurting himself. Like, start hitting.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because he wants that. He wants the...
Well, she started it, like he said, so it's her fault. So she's to blame. But my only input is that, fine, don't deprive your child of meal because they are still kids. But I think you should subscribe to 3 square meal snack once a day.
For a child?
Yeah, 3
like
square
scheduled meal for a child?
Scheduled meal.
I don't think you know
I'm not talking about 1-year-old baby or 2-year-old baby. Because the obesity,
but if a 1-year-old baby is hungry,
between 2 to
the
10.
baby's hungry, they're going to wait until 10?
No. 2. He said from 2.
I'm not talking about a
1-year-old.
1-year-old baby go use cry kill you now.
Yes.
That one is normal. But the parents are to blame in this situation.
They are.
Because if your child loves to eat, the next remedy is to make sure the child is very active so that the child can burn some of those fats and burn those calories. Let the child go out and play, let the child do sports, do a lot of things that will burn them because you can't eat and sit down and be watching TV.
And also a fun way a lot of parents are doing it is hiding the medicine in the food. Meaning that they're packaging vegetables to be other foods. Like to make it more like the cauliflower rice. They have different things to make the kids you kind of trick them. You put the same sauces on it. You trick them. You make a game out of eating vegetables. You make them look like creatures. You do different things. Like you make sure you insert maybe fruits in some of the things they're doing.
The other companies are doing that too. They are shaping the chicken nuggets into like different shapes and love shapes.
I also think something.
Yeah, go ahead,
please. Back in the days, right? Or not even, but even up to now, Seth, we're talking about what we can make the child eat because we have access to those things. For families that can't afford to start dictating, making a 3 square meal and all that stuff for children, that what they see pretty much is all there is for them to eat. What do they then? What do they do?
Same thing I said.
Also,
when they eat what they want to eat, after eating, they should go and play. They should go and burn calories. They should go out.
The hardship alone would shrink them back.
But then you also have kids that
that's not healthy.
That's son we did here.
That's not healthy. That's not healthy shrinkage.
Yeah,
you also have kids that are obese that don't really eat bad food.
They just slow metabolism.
That's when we talk about the genetic. That's when it's genetic.
So we can't put all of them. We can't put all of them in one
because we all know a lot of skinny people that can eat still because it's like the
shout
metabolism.
Out to you, Bina Digifa. We went to grad school together. This girl can wallop
and doesn't go anywhere.
She's very small too. She's like 5'11", very skinny, very small, but she puts it down.
Yeah. So with kids involved, I want to go back to nurture. How mothers nurture their kids, right? We equal food to love. in most of our culture, right? You go to somebody's house, the more food they have, it seems like everybody is happy. And it also feel good when you feed somebody.
Of course.
Right? You feel good about yourself, and the person eating it also feel good about themselves. So,
she just not giving you bad eye.
so because it's such a joy for me when I watch a child face light up when I give them the chocolate and the lollipop.
Charlie, you been the one giving the kids the chocolate?
Yes, I just go, everybody chocolates everywhere. Whenever I go to Ghana, they actually expect it. I bring big M&Ms and all of that, and mothers do it as well. They come back from work, they have chocolate. It's a joy for them. They watch their children faces, light up. Go back to your relative.
Yeah, and that reminds me, when I was growing up, because my dad made sure we had everything. Anytime he goes on a trip,
Good man.
Anytime he goes to Europe like this, coming back from Italy, he will buy so much in the kitchen, Irish potatoes, everything. Like, to him, that was his, that he felt so good that he was taking care of his kids with food. We had access to everything, but I'm still very surprised that,
Are you trying to show off right now?
My mother told me
I ate a lot growing up, but we don't have like fat in our family, so I guess none of me or my siblings
is turn into the food police.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's one thing I hate.
So
what is on your plate? What are you eating? Is that vegetable? Like, you cannot be like that. Your kids are going to hate you.
Mind your business.
Your kids are going to hate you when you do that.
Of course.
And that's what causes people to hide and eat.
Eating
is another one.
Anorexia and bulimia happens
so
from that.
I'm going to confess, because it's something that I did when I was young.
Debbie.
My mother can testify to this, please. When I left Nigeria, came over here. My mom was talking to me one day. She said, "Nne, I went to clean your room." And all the plates we were looking for in the house were all under your bed. Under my bed. Plus bread nylon. I love bread.
I love bread.
They use bread to sweat for me.
Bread.
I love bread. He said, bread nylon under my bed, spoons, plates. Because late night eating, I'm a master at it. After everybody has gone to bed, you'll be in the kitchen.
That's another thing that we didn't even point out. Another thing she just said now, eating at odd hours.
Eating at night.
Eating at late night can make you fat because you're eating, you're going to sleep.
Yes.
You're not burning nothing. So that one
You're
is
supposed to
very
give your food about 2 to 3 hours for it to
before you go
digest.
to bed, right? So
Some
your
parents
metabolism.
also hate, I wrote down hunger avoiders. They hate when their children are hungry. They can stop for a couple of more hours. They'll be fine. We did it.
You know what, Charlie, the reason why they hate their kids going hungry is because, when you take your kids outside, maybe to visit friends and relatives, they will be prying, they'll be hungry, wanting to eat something there. And, people like that can use that to abuse it. Now, wow, this is your child. Wait,
But they are
you don't feed that for
children.
house.
Even if you feed them at home, they still, if you give them biscuit, they will still
1 hour
collect
They will
it.
still collect, yeah.
Well, I think that also parents really have to be equipped with learning nutrition and learning learning the breakdown of nutrition, carbohydrates versus proteins versus like fruits, vegetables, like the ratio. They need to learn it, because if you don't know, you're going to give them what you know. What you've been
I'm
raised
glad
on.
this is up, because it's also about the cycle of it, right? They grew up with. Have you seen those series on TV? 700 pounds family, 1,000 pounds family. It's what they know. They grew up seeing that their mothers were eating deep fried chicken smothered in butter, and fried again, smothered
in mayonnaise,
fried, deep fried, and ovened and deep fried again. So that's all they saw growing up. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's the cycle. It's also the cycle.
And if you see the stats that is on there now, because they asked people, they say our parents to bin, 57% of the people say mostly. So they are not wrong.
Yeah, because the education and the training starts from the home. Nobody will do it for you. It's your responsibility to teach your children. And if you have enough information as a parent, you will guide them. Like right now, this is very educative for me. I know what to do. Like, yes, I'll feed my kids. I want them to be comfortable and all that. And I hope that me and future wife were on the same page to be able to raise the kids and to eat very healthy.
Yeah, that's good. So you're not going to do like your papa. You won't buy everything.
No, but I turned out good. I'm not, obese.
I run into this wonderful YouTube page that they had the little
feeling himself.
the little daughter.
It turned out great.
Listen,
It turned out good.
the little
Fresh
daughter
boy.
from when she was a baby. Oh my God!
Let's see the six packs.
So literally, the little baby from when the baby was born was started with vegetables. So the little girl now is doing juicing. She's maybe 2 or 3 years old.
Oh,
She's making her own
shakes.
juices,
Making
her own
shakes and
shakes. She loves vegetables. She loves avocados. I'm like, this is a baby. So they just cleared the eating, and the baby started from young. So you literally have to start the palate from young to start liking different things. But there's some kids that are a little harder. They might not like it. But there's some kids that are able to be pliable, and then you could teach them, and then they make better choices when they get older. Instead of when they're afraid to give them the chocolate, they be like, nah, I'd rather the apple, thank you.
Can we talk more about what you said, about what you eat while you're pregnant with the child? That goes a long way, you know. Because then you see the child come out and you see the child want certain things, particularly, and you be like, I had that a lot when I was pregnant with that baby. So
But
parents,
so many craves.
from when you're pregnant, that's a crave. Even if you're craving for this, it's hard. You switch it up with something healthy.
Yeah.
Listen, my auntie ate a lot of okra soup. I'm like, why you keep eating okra soup so the baby can fly out, like just slip out.
Oh, that's right.
That's how
Did
that
it slip out
allergy.
now?
I don't know. Who told her that? I don't know.
The okra doesn't go down there, comes out here.
Oh my God.
But I mean, growing up, childhood obesity in Africa, I didn't see a lot of big,
Oversized
oversized kids. Did you
heavy.
guys see that?
I saw a few.
I did those.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, we're in the
What
league
was that?
of, we're in the league of our
I
own.
was thinking, Tiani.
Maybe you have
No,
more
I
of them
wasn't.
here, you know.
And I think also that
back home in
African
Nigeria.
sun. Whenever I go to Africa, now I'm going to Ghana, I go come back looking slim because the sun will fix you right.
Yes.
Because people are, you're eating, even when you're eating or whatever, that when you go outside, that sun will fix you
And the
real
diarrhea.
quick. Are you trying
Diarrhea.
Are you guys wishing something on me? No. Do not put anything in the universe. I do not want that to happen again.
And don't parents weigh the babies when they are born? Right.
That one
So
no.
do you guys think? Okay, so I want to get to this, the psychology, like the effect of a baby. At what point then do you tell your baby, listen, you're obese?
Do you tell your
You
baby?
don't
You
tell
don't
your
tell
baby that.
You're going to tell the baby
No,
that.
The child when they're growing up. I mean, 6-year-old can be still big, whatever. Do you go straight in and be like, listen, you are big?
No.
No.
How should parents handle that?
I feel like it has a negative connotation because my mom did that, and I think that's what made me continue to gain weight because it flips you on the inside. It's like, you know what I'm saying, you become defiant a little bit, right? Even though you don't know it, because why are you shaming me and I'm your child? You're supposed to love
that
me
shaming
without
or educating you?
No. See, but it was done in a shaming way. It wasn't done like, it was done in a shaming way. Like whenever they're angry, they'll call you out.
You're beautiful, lose weight.
No.
Give you the positive.
She said you will be so beautiful if you lose some weight.
Oh.
So it means you're not beautiful as you are.
Exactly.
As you are.
Imagine a young girl hearing that as she's getting older and older. But of course, I'm glad I had self-efficacy to know that I was beautiful regardless. But that is horrible to say to a child.
And also in an African setting, you know, most parents will want to correct you going direct, not out of hatred, but still out of love. Right here in the Western world, you know how they approach, they will bother you, nurture you. So for Africans, it's different. So she really, I'm sure she didn't really mean it the way it sounded.
Of course she didn't,
out of
but
love.
the thing is the way you received
the
it.
way you received it and all that. Yeah. So for me, I wouldn't come out directly to say, oh, you're big and all. No, I'm going to start with controlling what you're eating.
Control consumption.
Control what you're
Control
eating. That's it. I'm gonna
That's
make you
the
work out.
solution.
I'm gonna make you go play outside. I'm gonna control what you eat. I don't need to tell you anything.
Times have changed. Back in the days, you had kids run outside and play.
To say that.
We had playtime. Come out from school, 3:30, take your shower, you eat, you nap. Soon as you wake up outside, you play till 7 o'clock. And that play not just you're running up and down, you play catcher, you play 10-10, you play who's in the garden. Oh,
But
fun
right
times.
now, what has taken over the kids?
Video games.
Smartphones
You sit
and
down
video
and you
games.
on your
And
stationery.
TV.
Yeah,
They just people
smartphones and
literally
video games.
sit their kid. The babysitter is the TV. They'll sit
And
their kids in
iPads.
front of it,
And
and
iPads.
they'll give them a bag of potato chips.
And go and do their own
they're
thing.
going to do their own
You will see
business.
a 1-year-old baby with an iPad already. So you're already teaching them that that's what they should do. How would they know to go out and do sports and do other things?
Yeah, we all need to chime in and help this, a little input. So parents, if you're listening, I mean, none of us are parents here, right? So we've learned something and we're going to apply it.
Very soon.
All right, so I hope you guys learned something about this too. Let us know in the comments your thought on this topic. Until next time, this is MinaTV and you're watching the ABS show.
Thanks for watching. And if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.